Thomas Partey very worried about his future at Arsenal because looks like the board of Arsenal is not reactive toward his contract that is soon running out at the Emirates. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. This is the Transfer News Show, as we are really talking about very many other players. Leroy Sane, a player that is so much linked to Arsenal for the previous 2 summers, has found himself in a position of being one of those players that the Bayern Munich team wants to really throw under the bus and sell him after getting out of Man City. I think it was in 2020, and now he has been there for like 2-3 seasons. They feel like he was a signing of Oliver Kahn and the new CEO, director, and so on and so forth of Bayern Munich. Look like they might not welcome his service at the club of Bayern Munich. And lastly, Kevin De Bruyne, ahead of the Champions League finale, has gone ahead and really said lots of things that each and every player should listen to and obviously understand the meaning of winning and having a very huge mentality. Amid him being one of those players being highly paid at Man City, he still has that anger to lift the trophies. And Rokani David is my name. 200 likes on this video. Continue to subscribe, guys, because we want to hit 14,000 subscribers before the end of today, such that tomorrow we embark onto the journey of hitting 15,000. Not so? I know you guys are going to do it because you've always been here for us, and Lord, the Lord God has gone ahead to really use you guys to take this channel to the next level. Let's start it off with Thomas Partey. CBS Sports sources have indicated that there has been no dialogue about extending Thomas Partey's deal at Arsenal, which has 2 years left, though the player himself favors staying in North London rather than exploring rumored interests from Italy. Thomas Partey, he's one of those players that have been pivotal at Arsenal, but towards the end of the season, especially the Premier League season, he went ahead to show to us that he can capitulate. And his capitulation led to Arsenal losing the trophy, because those 5 games, I'll never forget them. The game of Liverpool that ended 2-2, the game of West Ham that ended 2-2, the game of Southampton that ended 3-3, the loss of Man City, all right? Those 4 games that saw Thomas Partey capitulate really showed Mikel Arteta that there are certain levels that Thomas Partey cannot reach, especially when there are levels of protecting the team when the team is in the lead and in the most important games of the season. The game of Liverpool, Arsenal was 2 goals up ahead of Liverpool, and in that game, all what was needed was Thomas Partey to show his dominance in that midfield. We all know that Fabinho has been one of the worst midfielders into the league this season, you know, amid him being one of the best we've seen for the previous 3, 4, 5 years. But last season was crap. Liverpool has been having one of the crappiest midfield in the Premier League. But how come Thomas Partey couldn't dominate that midfield, you know? In such a game, all what was needed was Thomas Partey to tell all his team that Rob Holding is good on the ball. Let's pass it with Zinchenko, Rob Holding, Ben White, and me, such that we really get full control of the game. But that failed him. After that, they went to the game of West Ham. Arsenal was leading 2-0, and guess what? He loses the ball. Declan Rice passes it to Paqueta. Gabriel Magalhaes brings him down. Even the second goal that they concede, you know, Thomas Partey had to do something. Look at the game of Southampton. You need to be in that midfield, you know, and he was not showing up. Those were the 3 important games that Arsenal needed to win, and if at all they won those 3 games, they would have found themselves in a position of competing with Man City. But they went ahead to lose 6 points, you know, 6 points. And look at this season, Arsenal found themselves in a position of finishing second with 84 points, meaning that if they had collected those 6 points, they would have gone ahead to really go ahead and have 90, of which Man City have had 89. You never know what was going to happen that season. But obviously, Thomas Partey has a reason to worry, because I've just done a video today when David Austin and Fabrizio Romano just going to confirm to us that Arsenal have gone ahead to reach an agreement with William Saliba on a new contract. They are going to deal with that of Reece Nelson, Odegaard, Ramsdale done, Gabriel Magalhaes done, Martinelli done, Bukayo Saka done. Now, all those players are being offered new contracts and they're really lucrative and they're having astronomical wages. But Thomas Partey, being a player who is one of the highest paid players at Arsenal, £200,000 a week, clicking 30 years this year, has not been approached by the club to really try to find out the state of his contract at the club of Arsenal. So that is worrying him, and he's uncertain of his future at Arsenal. That is Thomas Partey for you. And as it stands, it looks like he doesn't feel like leaving Arsenal. You know, there are reports that we are linking him to Italian Serie A to go that side and play there, but looks like he wants to stay in North London. But to my understanding, I believe Arsenal want to do what we call a litmus test. You know, they want to bring in Moise Caicedo and Declan Rice and see how Arsenal are going to perform. If Arsenal really perform better and those two players fit into that midfield of Arsenal like a glove, I think Arsenal will sell off Thomas Partey next season. But I don't see Thomas Partey leaving this summer. You know, they can sell him next season because he'll be left with money on his contract, as he came in 2020 and signed a 5-year contract at Arsenal. That is Thomas Partey for you. So he signed a 5-year contract and he's left with 2 years on his contract. Obviously, he would have gone ahead to see Arsenal coming in through for him, but it looks like Arsenal want to do what we call a litmus test, get in Declan Rice, Moise Caicedo, and if at all it works out like a charm, then it will help him. It will help them really. It will help them on the exodus of these 30-year-old players out of the club. Like Xhaka, he's leaving this season. The only reason he hasn't left is because they are trying to get in his replacement, that is Declan Rice. Now next season, if Arsenal offload Jorginho and Thomas Partey, and they get in one more or two midfielders, that will be something great for the team of Arsenal, because they need to really strengthen that midfield. Experience is needed, but they need to get in tenacious midfielders that won't capitulate when it comes to games that really matter. Thomas Partey's mentality was tested this season, and Arteta got to know that maybe there are certain games he can play, but when pressure is called for in such games, Thomas Partey might not show up to the levels they want him to play. So let's wait and see how that's going to come out and see how Arsenal is going to attend to that issue of Thomas Partey having really a concern over his contract, and he's worried about his future at Arsenal. Then we go to Leroy Sane down to Bayern Munich. Carrie Hale, chief reporter, Sport 1 and FC Bayern Munich correspondent, he has confirmed to us that there are no plans for Leroy Sane to leave Bayern Munich. The player sees himself at the club next season. He feels comfortable in the team, gets along very well with Thomas Tuchel, and still has an important supporter on the board. Now, after putting out that story, guess what happened? Christian Falk, a more close source to Bayern Munich, has gone ahead and told us the following: that Leroy Sane's future is uncertain at Bayern Munich. The winger is on the list of potential sale candidates next to the likes of Sadio Mane, Serge Gnabry, Marcel Sabitzer, Nabel, Pavard, Sarr, and Sommer. Christian Falk is really a very good close source to Bayern Munich, and you'll obviously understand when he comes out and really puts out his story. So it shows you that Leroy Sane is one of those players that is up for sale. Serge Gnabry also up for sale by Bayern Munich, and as it stands, it looks like it's inevitable for these players to leave, as they want to get in more players that can really effectively complement the midfield and the front three of Bayern Munich. When you look at Leroy Sane, by the time Man City bought him from the Bundesliga, he was really one of the best that we've ever seen, and we anticipated a lot of him, but he never got to his ceiling in the Premier League. Again to Bayern Munich, he has shown us some glimpses, but he's not really that Leroy Sane that you wanted to see, you know, at the age of 26 years of age. So teams like Arsenal are interested in him, and I think Mikel Arteta would love a player like Leroy Sane to come out and compete with Bukayo Saka, because he knows his potential. And when you look at Mikel Arteta, he has shown us that he has passed the test of improving a player who has not been who had been underperforming at a certain club. You know, when you look at lots of players are brought in who has gone ahead to flop, I think Willian is the only flop that's gone ahead to bring in. You know, but the rest of the players we're going to have to bring in are really important. And Leroy Sane is a player that come in and obviously give Bukayo Saka a chase for that position, because he's really a very good player, you know, and he can play off the left, right, and he can play through the center. The other player, Serge Gnabry. Serge Gnabry, as I told you, that Mikel Arteta green-lighted his transfer to Arsenal. After that, Serge Gnabry also said, once a Ghana, always a Ghana, meaning that he is okay with the move to Arsenal. But how is Arsenal going to make all these transfers count? By deciding on who they really want. On those players on the list for Arsenal, Serge Gnabry and Leroy Sane are the most liked by Arsenal, and it's Serge Gnabry that I've seen ticking all the boxes, right, to join the Arsenal side, because he can play as a right attacking midfielder where Bukayo Saka plays. He can play as a false number 9, and he can play on the left attacking side of the midfield where Martinelli plays. He can also take on the Martin Odegaard role. So he's vastly talented. Former Ghana, obviously, he found himself in a position of being a Hell-End graduate. That is the academy of Arsenal. He never got a chance to prosper at Arsenal like the Martinellis, Bukayo Saka, Emily Smith-Rowe, name it. But I think if at all Mikel Arteta is being told that on Leroy Sane and Serge Gnabry, who are you going to bring? I think he'll choose Serge Gnabry, as Serge Gnabry has a lot to offer onto the team of Arsenal. And I've told you that managers right now are looking at players who are really versatile. When you go to the team I support, Man United, I've seen Erik ten Hag try to play Luke Shaw on the left back, then on the left side of the central defense. Jadon Sancho, a player that we knew that can only play as a right winger and left winger, he was sometimes tried in as a central attacking midfielder. So you understand that managers would love to get in players who are really versatile. Do you know why? Injuries. Look at Man City. You know, Nathan Ake gets an injury. Akanji comes in through and plays as a left back. John Stones comes in through and plays in the midfield. You know, so they're having a lot of players to alternate in different positions altogether. Marcel Sabitzer is another one on the list. United look like they want to keep him. Let's wait and see what's going to happen. But Pavard is linked to a move to Liverpool. That's it. So that's the list of players from Bayern Munich. Some are being linked to Arsenal, others being to Manchester United, others to Liverpool, and so on and so forth. But it looks like they're really willing to go ahead and obviously getting the best that they deserve. Lastly, let's talk about the Man City highest paid player, Kevin De Bruyne. They're playing a Champions League finale tonight, and here he says that every professional player wants to win the Champions League with their teams and individually. If you win it, it's one of the biggest you can do as a player and a team. To compete year in, year out is amazing. I've competed against the best players. That is Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is a very good player. Arguably the best central attacking midfielder in the world. He has been consistent for the previous 5, 6, 7 seasons. And he's unstoppable. He's one of those players that if you want to beat City, you have to stop to really rove around that midfield, because he's really deadly. You know, in just a second, he can find out a pass to either release Jack Grealish, Bernardo Silva, or Erling Haaland. And he has said he needs to win this trophy, and the Champions League final is going to be played today. So after the finale is done, we are going to be back here to bring you the match reaction on how the match really went, and expect the best out of the best from that game. Now, your thoughts on Thomas Partey, future uncertain at Arsenal, are welcome in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts about Leroy Sane and Serge Gnabry. You know, Bayern wants them out. So, do you think Arsenal should get both of them, or who of the two can you choose to bring to your club? And lastly, Kevin De Bruyne, do you think he's lifting the Champions League tonight? Rokani David is my name. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I sign out for now. See you later, my Muslim viewers and subscribers. May Allah protect you and give you the best that you guys deserve and want. I'm out.